2011, this article came out. Software is eating the world. Yes, software has eaten the world already. There is not one single sector which is not completely taken over by software. We have to go one step further on. Innovation has to eat the world now. So that should be actually the next article from Andreessen. When we speak about innovation, I think about these goal stars, of these soccer stars. Messi, Lewandowski, Cristiano Ronaldo, wow, hey, each of them make so many millions. Everybody talks about them and they're in the newspapers every second day. And nobody speaks about the thousands and thousands of football players in the second league, in the third league, which can hardly make it for a living. And they finish their football career with 30 and they have absolutely no education. And that is the white majority. And it's like this with innovation. We speak about the big stars. We speak about everything happening in Silicon Valley. You know, the new Google Watch, wow, or no, sure, Apple Watch, hey, great thing. We don't speak about the thousands of companies or traditional companies, the one actually which are paying our salaries, which are running against the wall when they're trying to be innovative. So those are the ones I'm speaking about today, not about Silicon Valley. They can make it without me. What's the very first thing we need? We have this article from Rebecca Sandberg in Harvard Business Review. Critical factors where all senior level executives agree is we need creativity and innovation. We need these traits in our people. I completely agree, yes. Even looking at the World Economic Forum report, if we see the development of creativity in the last 5 years, I don't have the actual one, but probably didn't fall down. It has stepped up in the famous soft skills enormously. We need creativity in the company. Yes, but creativity won't drive automatically to innovation. You might have very creative people in your company, but they are not innovators. Why? We misunderstand innovation. When we speak about innovation, we think of this one guy with an IQ of 350 running around through the floor, sitting in a corner, thinking for 1 minute and coming up with a brilliant idea. Or we think of this other guy coming down with the truth, with the naked truth, with this one innovation, which is going to bring your company forward without any pivot or anything like that. Neither nor. Okay, if you have these two guys in the company, don't throw them out. We need them. But don't look for them. You don't need them. Careful when we speak about innovation. There are two aspects to consider. We have the traditional innovation. There is a product, we do it better. But we have also disruption. Another product shows up and makes your product obsolete. Those are the most dangerous ones when it happens outside your company. I told you that you don't need these two guys because each and every member of your company is capable of being innovative. You've got the people you need there. Okay, why is not working? Why don't we have innovation? Because we misunderstand innovation. Take a look at this picture. South Spain, 40 degrees in a governmental office somewhere, I think it's in Cadiz actually. The people just came up with the idea, just lift the shoes and sit down and wait until it's my turn. You said, what a stupid thing, Almudena. Well, if you consider that we are saving the NHS probably quite a few money with some preventive measures for varicose operations, maybe some ladies with some swollen veins will have less problems and might not need an operation if they have these preventive measures. It's maybe a good idea. And it's low-cost innovation. Or let's think of, just a moment, let's think on how many thousands of years did we have a wheel? Quite a few. How many years have we had boxes and bags and suitcases around? Quite a while. 20, 30 years ago, somebody came up with the idea of putting some wheels on a suitcase. Companies like Samsonite are rich because we all bought new suitcase. You don't see anybody at the airport carrying the bag like before. And these things were around, somebody put them together. Sometimes you don't need that big ideas. Small ideas can make a big difference. Now, what are the 7 traits. I'm going to give you 7 points to follow to introduce innovation in your company. It's a recipe and it works. Follow them. Number 1, trust. I'm going to make a small quiz. Is this lady working? Maybe. Are these 2 ladies working? Could be. Now come the hardest one. Is this boy working? If you failed, you can leave the talk. You don't need to stay here. We will never know. We will never know if these people are working or just laying down and thinking this best, fantastic idea, which is going to change the future of your company. So if you don't trust your employee, you can drop here. Let's take a brilliant example of trust. Futurize is a Finnish company. Some employees decided, hey, let's buy remote control cars and play a bit around with artificial intelligence. There was no process required because 600 employees, they have 600 credit cards, absolute trust in the employees. How do they decide how to spend the money in Futurize? They have a document in internet, any of us can look into it, 12 pages where they give you some hint and advice how to use the money of the company. And you can read it if you want. It's impressive, it's amazing. Any of us can understand it, even if we don't work for this company. And then you have trust. So they bought these remote control cars, young engineers playing around, putting some artificial intelligence into it. And you will see, Almudena, what does this have to do with innovation? Well, the outcome was the following. They created Mako, the first artificial intelligence remote control car. The complete company learned and trained with gamification in artificial intelligence. They created artificial intelligence workshops for customers as a new business models. They were selling this knowledge to the customers. It was an impressive marketing and employee branding because there are now races of these cars all over the world. And it was started by Marco. And everything they learned, they left it in internet, open source to support the technological community. Again, company branding. So see the amazing impact of trusting your employees. So number 1 is trust. Number 2, time. As stupid as that, there are several ways. I've put up some of them here and many more, how to go for time. We had in Ericsson Friday, Friday. Yeah, we have some hackathons. 3M since the 40s gives 15% of their time to their customers. Whenever you join that company, say 15% of the time is yours. And you know when this was invented? In which slot of time? And Futurize gives 30 creative hours a month outside the working hours. So on Saturdays, you sit at home and you have some crazy idea. As long whatever you produce, you put it open source in internet, the company pays for the hours. So you see complete different approaches. One more, the one from Scale AI framework. Scale AI framework has every 5th iteration or sprint is an innovation sprint. Is this enough? I don't know, but it's better than nothing. So secure your people have the time. Don't expect the time. If you're 100% allocated or 120% allocated to projects, they cannot be innovative just because of lack of time. Whatever you do, do something, because these nice guys, Brian Acton and Jan Kohn, had something we don't have when they created WhatsApp, and WhatsApp was a disruption. It's a huge disruption to the SMS, which we in the telco were making a huge amount of money with. And then WhatsApp came 2007. 5 years later, it was sold by $20 billion to Facebook. What did Brian and Jan had, which we probably don't have? They had time. They were unemployed. Actually, they had applied for Facebook and they didn't take them. So they had all the time in the world, and see what happened. Number 3, space. Create some space. We could have now long discussions. Virtual space, digital space, or on-site space. Depends where you are right now. All these companies had some famous garage. We created in Ericsson also a garage. I actually been laying around on this bean bags. It was really fun. It was the thinking room. We brought some customers there. So it was a cool room. You might have now the need of virtual rooms. I don't care. But secure, we have a space with the technology, with some computers prepared, with some boards, even if it's electronic. Also secure, we have the tooling there for the people to work. Secure space. Number 4, teams. We have to break the silos. Don't expect people to be individually innovative. Futurize created Marco with teams, with a group of people, group of engineers working together to put artificial intelligence in the cars. Even the famous light bulb was not invented by Edison. It was invented by a team. His greatest invention wasn't the light bulb. It was his studio, where he had so many big inventors working with him, trading ideas, collaborating in projects. That is what Thomas Edison brought us. He was, of course, a good businessman. He was able to refine it and bring it to the market. Yeah. And he now got the credits. But what's really important, it was not him alone, it was his team. So the complexity of finding big things, new ideas, is based on the diversity of different brains working together. What's Fujifilm now living on, actually? I don't think you bought these films any longer for a while. Maybe some apps work with some retro photography. Actually, my husband does. But I don't think Fuji is living on this. No, they are not. Fuji is a big creator of skincare products. They use the technology, they realize the technology being used for film, for photographic films, surprisingly, has a lot in common with the skincare products. Collagen is a crucial substance both in photography film and in human skin. So they could reuse a lot of their knowledge, and this line, Astalift, is very well sold in Asia. So a huge pivot, as Scott already mentioned. Number 5, dual operating system. It's not me saying it, it was John Kotter. John Kotter speaks of the dual operating system. Jürgen Appello speaks of the 10 different business models depending where you are with your product. We need different velocities depending on whether we have a traditional product which has been sold regularly, which has been a long time on the market, or we have complete new products, new innovative ideas coming up. Don't use the same process for both because bad things happen. I've seen this. I've seen in a hackathon, great idea coming up, and it ran against the wall because it was put on the queue of the actual regular products. And the innovation board was tagging once a month. By the time the idea moved through the process and through the system, somebody else out in the market had already brought the product. Competition never sleeps. So you need velocity if you have innovation in place. Secure, you have a fast track for innovation. Don't use the stable processes of the company. Number 6, secure. Somebody validates your ideas, even they sound fantastic, because, I mean, look at this playing ground. It looks terrific, doesn't it? Look what happened. Did anybody talk to one single child before putting 600 of these playing grounds all over the place? No kid is using it. So secure this doesn't happen in your company. Evaluate your hypothesis. It's only a hypothesis. It's only an assumption. We're gonna eat the world with this new product. Are you sure? Put one up and ask the children to try it out and be surprised. So secure, you validate your hypothesis. And last but not least, number 7, involve any sector, any player, any stakeholders, involve maybe the customers. Ericsson has been involved in startups around here. There's Ericsson Germany, where I used to work for 22 years. The startups of the region is involving them to jointly develop 5G applications. So we have the possibilities that we have a new idea looking for a startup to create this fast track for us. So they're involving startups on the regions. We are even involving the customer. Once a year, Ericsson Germany has the Innovation Day where 600 customers join, 600, and they observe, like in a marketplace, everything that is happening in the company. And they can involve in new ideas in 5G or Internet of Things with co-creation. Say, you like this product? Do you want to invest? Do you want to develop it together with us? So don't bring it alone to the market. Maybe you can get support from suppliers, from customers, from any other sector. Where can you get support? Or maybe create fast tracks with the startups. Look for ways to involve further sectors. Summarizing, if you want to have an innovative mindset in your company, we need trust. If you don't trust your people, it makes no sense to move on. Time. Don't allocate them 100% to projects. Space, some sort of space, physical, digital. Create teams, break the silos, have different brains getting together to create ideas. Look for Fast Track, the famous dual operating system from Qatar. Secure their validation of your ideas before you go to the market and fail. And secure you validate with an MVP. And involve any other sector actors or different stakeholders to support you in this trip. Whatever you do something. This is a beautiful picture I took in the German place. I'm going to put it in English. Change doesn't come by itself. Don't sit around and wait for the innovation department to do something. You have to move yourself, secure you create some movement in your company. But something has to happen because innovation is going outside your company. So it should also get into your company. Even you have fantastic products which are selling like crazy. Even you have products where you're completely sure, we're going to be living on this product for 1 or 2 years. Yes, but who knows if it's going to take any longer. What brought us here won't get us any farther. So innovation is a must in any company. It doesn't matter how good your products are going.